Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a 1-year anniversary Q&A with my lovely wife here, Meryl-Lee. This is her channel.
Yes, it is.
So I'm just a guest.
A guest on my channel.
Yes. Special guest.
A special guest, a very special guest on my channel.
Yes.
Okay, so I got some questions that I wrote down in my beautiful book.
Let's get into it.
It's a rose gold book. I'm obsessed with the color. Okay, so let's get into the questions. So basically we both have to answer, no?
Okay.
We both have to answer the question. It's not like a question that I ask you alone, and it's not like a question that I have to answer alone. So we both have to answer the questions. Okay, so it's gonna be 8 questions that we're gonna be doing. 8 or 7 questions that we're gonna be doing. So the first question is, did we love together before we got married? And do we advise it? Yeah, we loved together for about a year.
2 years.
No, we never loved together for 2 years. For about a year and a couple of months, babe.
It was March 2018, remember?
It was March 2018.
And we got married
February 2020.
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah, but that's how quickly time flew.
2 years.
It was 2 years.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we lived together for about 2 years. Before we got married. And would you advise couples to live together before they get married?
It's an interesting question.
So would you?
Basically, what I would say is, because our society has changed now and the way things are now, it has become like the norm to live together. The new norm to live together. But the one thing I would say about living together, it gives you just a little bit of introspection into the person that you are dating. But it's not the full picture.
It's not the full picture, definitely.
The full picture you'll definitely get the day you guys get married.
It is weird, but it's so true.
It is
the whole dynamic just changes.
Yeah.
And it gives you a bit of idea about how your partner is, and it also, like, you get to know your partner's ins and outs.
You get to know their habits.
You get to know their habits, yeah. So would we advise it?
I would say
we would advise it, because it made the transition from being a dating couple to being a married couple just so much easier, because we already basically knew each other.
Yeah. And also there's a fine line with us advising it. The fine line is that maybe moving in too quickly at the beginning of a relationship might cause damage to the relationship. But it also helps if you know your person for a while. Taking that step too soon might actually be a negative instead of a positive.
But for us, it definitely worked. For us, it definitely worked. For us to live together before we got married, because when we got married, it was the same, but it changed.
Yeah, and the one thing that's also important to remember about that is space. Space is very important.
I think there's a question in here that goes to that. So don't go so far.
Okay.
Don't give the whole thing.
There's
8 questions, Baba. Akira, you want to answer all the questions into one. Question number 2 is, what was the biggest adjustment in the marriage?
I would say that the biggest adjustment is the transition. That is what I would say. Like the transition from going from being in a relationship, just dating somebody, and going into, you know what, you and this person are in holy matrimony now.
Yes. And you have to love according to being in
for others it will just be a signature or whatever, but it's more than that.
It's more than that. It's completely more than that, and you wouldn't know that it's so much of a change up until it happens. So yeah.
But it's a good change.
It's the best change ever.
Change.
Is marriage what you expected?
I think with that question, babe, is marriage is one of those things where you can't expect how you want it to be, or you can't be prepared.
But now, what was your expectations like when you thought of I'm getting married and I'm gonna be a married man? What was your expectations, and did it happen that way?
My expectations, yes, it did happen that way. Because I mean, I always, like, when you're younger, you have this thing of you want to get married, but you never know when it's gonna happen.
You never know when it's gonna happen.
So when you're in a position of it actually happening, and it does happen, it's an amazing feeling, because it's a life experience. It's something that you always thought of, but you will never show off. And actually going through it is a great experience. So when it comes to what I expected, the experience as a whole, it was a life-changing experience. So it is what I expected and more.
And more, yes.
But it's always a thing of where you can say that it's growth.
It's definitely growth.
It's growth. So
it is.
So when it comes with growth and expectations, they sort of go hand in hand.
With growth and a lot of patience.
Yes.
And a lot of understanding and a lot of compromise.
Yeah.
But those three things only works out when both are willing
to work together.
And there's a lot of people that says marriage is a 50-50 thing. I would disagree 100% with him. I feel that marriage is 100% for both parties. Daar is nie 'n ding van you go 50-50 in the marriage and that makes it 100%. No, it must be 100% from the word go. From the word go. From the one partner to the other partner, it must be 100% from both sides in order for it to work. So yeah, that is how we answer this question. Okay. The question that we are getting so many times, especially from my mother. Are we having more children? For the YouTubers that does not know, we do have a son. He is about 2 years and 7 months. He's about 2 years and 7 months, yes. Almost going to be 3 months. So we do have a son. Are we having more kids?
Yeah, when it comes to that question is always debatable. For me, I wouldn't necessarily say I don't want a second child. If it does happen, it's a blessing, because a child is always a blessing.
Yeah.
From God. So if it happens, you take it with open arms. You accept it. You embrace it, because being a father is a life-changing experience. And for me, it changed my life completely, because now I have somebody that I have to do good by and who looks up to me. So having a child is a life-changing experience. So I wouldn't rule it out.
You wouldn't rule it out.
Yes, but it's also something that takes a lot of responsibility, and it does take planning.
It does take a lot of responsibility.
So it's not something you can just decide overnight.
No.
So if it happens, it's a good thing. Yep. But if you can plan ahead for it, that actually makes it much easier.
What I would say is, with our first child, it was not planned at all, right? When we found out that we were married, that we were pregnant, first of all, he was over the moon. He was very happy. He was happy from the word go. I still had to process the whole thing. But having a child changes your life so much in all the aspects possible. It changed the way you talk, the way you think, the way you work with your finances, the way you carry yourself, the way it literally takes over your whole life in a good way, in a positive way. So, are we having more kids is, like you said, debatable. But for us, the most common conversation that we have all the time.
Yeah.
Is that a second child for us now and probably in the next 5 years will not be recommended. It won't be ideal because we feel that for now there's a lot of stuff that we personally want to do in our, first of all, in our marriage life, second of all, in our individual lives. There's a lot of things that we want to do, and there's a lot of things that we want to do for our son that we have now. So a second child or more children for now is a no, but it is not ruled out. Right?
Definitely.
Okay. So the next question is,
it would be nice to have a little girl because we have a little boy. So if it comes to having,
I don't know where he's gonna get a girl baby from, because this woman is not carrying girl babies.
So when it comes to having another child, it must be
boy babies. Why it must be a girl?
I want another life experience in experiencing daddy's little girl.
Okay.
And we don't have a girl yet in my family. It's always just been boys. Boys.
Okay. How do we balance our personal lives and our married life? I think we have a very good balance. I think personally we have an extremely good balance between our personal lives and our marriage lives.
Keyword balance.
Balance. True.
And that takes some time to implement.
But Baba, we've been implementing that even before we were married. We had a pretty good balance when we just stayed together and before we even stayed together. So one thing, he does not have a lot of friends, right? So he's
circle is small.
Circle is extremely small. So he doesn't go out a lot, and he doesn't bloom with the Owens, chill with the guys, does that every odd weekend.
I had my fair share of that.
Yeah, before
maybe a little
too much. Yes. Exactly. So when we started living together, he was basically fine with being at home all the time. If he has his video games, he's perfectly happy.
PlayStation
4. Yes, he's perfectly happy. So I have circles of friends, and that has never gotten in the way of us living together and us being married. So we would always communicate about everything. I would always let him know, like, in advance, what I am planning with my friends, where I will be going, what type of event it will be, and he would always allow me to do that. Whether it's a weekend after a weekend, whether it's one weekend in a month, whether it's one weekend in a year, which never happens anyway, but he would always allow me to be out with my friends as long as I communicate with him in advance. Listen, I'm gonna be doing this on that day with this people, and he never had a thing where he would tell me what time I need to be home. He never had a thing of he would check up on me 10 times when I'm with my friends. He never let me feel uncomfortable when I'm with my friends. So living my personal life with my friends and living my married life is quite balanced. It's quite balanced because I would say the key word is communication and not balance.
Yes. Basically, I would say it's three things. I would say the one thing is communication.
Yes.
Second is balance. Balance can be included in that because you need to find a balance. And third is not having a confined space, giving each other space to breathe also.
Yes.
So it's not a thing of, it's not a thing like,
it's not a thing
of merging the two together. It's basically a thing of, you know what, you should.
And we're making our marriage claustrophobic, where we need to be together all the time, and I don't allow him to be with his friends, or he doesn't allow me to be with my friends. And I would say the other key word, Papa, is honesty.
Honesty, yes.
Honesty is so much important, and trust also.
Yes.
Trust also. Like I said, he checks up on me, but he doesn't blow up my phone every 5 minutes. He doesn't interfere when I'm with my friends, because the trust is there, the honesty is there, the balance is there, and the communication is there. So basically, yeah, our balance is quite nice. Yeah.
And create a space of freedom as well.
Yes, create a space of freedom. Even though we are married, we give each other that freedom to do whatever we want to do in our personal lives, as long as
it doesn't
everything
feel like,
everything is okay at home. We know what our partners are doing, and we're fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as finances, do we merge our money, or do we have our separate accounts? And do we have finance issues?
We do have separate accounts. She has her own account, I have my own account. But when it comes to that, basically, it's like with the thing of us moving in. The moment we moved in and decided we're gonna move in, we decided to lay it all out. Play open cards where, I mean, finances shouldn't be a thing that...
I remember you always said finances is the last thing that you want to fight about in a relationship.
Yeah, because I know sometimes...
That was your one thing that you
Because I know
asked.
finances can come to a point where it dictates a lot of things. And the moment you allow that, it becomes a problem. I mean, just when it comes to finances, just work in a way where both of you can do things together. You can work out if you can even split the responsibilities.
Exactly.
Like the one person does this, the other person does this. But there's transparency.
There's transparency all the time.
I mean, nothing gets kept under the table.
Yes.
I mean, like, if you can say, like, how much do you left in your account, you shouldn't even have that to say, hey, let me give a digit that's let me give a digit that's higher or a digit that's lower. There's one thing that should be transparency, because there's one thing that can cause a lot of friction.
Yes.
So when it comes to that, just transparency and open cards makes that much easier.
I would say the big thing that we do when it comes to finances is we talk about the big stuff that we need to sort out within the relationship. We work towards sorting that out, and then we both have our own responsibilities that we need to do in a monthly on a monthly basis. And once our responsibilities is sorted out, and once our big things are sorted out, basically we have freedom with our money, and we have a lot of communication. We communicate about literally every single cent that we spend, not because we want to know each other's business or whatsoever. I think it's just because our relationship's communication is so strong.
It creates an environment where it doesn't become an issue, because you are always transparent about it.
Always transparent.
So if it's a thing of where you say, okay, I just have this amount, it's not even an issue, because like you play open cards with each other, so you know that when this person say like, this is what I have left, you'll be like, oh, okay, no, it makes sense.
It makes sense because you know exactly everything that he did already with his money.
We did
so
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
So if it's a thing where you hide stuff, the moment questions come up, it is gonna turn into your argument, because you're gonna ask like, what happened to this? Where's this? What did you do with this? And
one thing that I would like to say about our finances is that you would always ask me for the smallest thing ever. You would literally ask me if you can buy yourself a cool drink when you're at work. And at least now you don't do it as much.
I think
because I told him, like, of course he can buy himself a cool drink.
You know what that is? I think it's just a thing of like, you just think of like, isn't there something else important we should do before you do something just like that? I mean,
but a cool drink, babe, like a pack of sweets. Okay, and our last question is, what is our marriageable goals?
It's a fancy word.
It's a fancy word and I said it correctly. Ja. Afrikaans gesproken of niet.
That is baie great English.
Yes. I evolve. I would say I feel what I would like to classify as a marriageable goal for us is to be utterly, truthfully, and completely happy within the marriage. You know, that's one thing that we both always wanted to be, even within the dating relationship, is to be happy with your person. To be truly happy together. And to have that in all your years of being married, I think that's a pretty big goal.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big goal. The rest of the stuff is very materialistic.
The other stuff is just like...
The other stuff is very materialistic. That a person can work on
and the thing
like
with
you said, a yearly
like,
basis or monthly basis.
And the thing with that is you shouldn't let those type of things define you.
No.
Yeah, so basically it is like it's nice to have, because I mean everybody likes to have nice things. It's nice to have nice things, but you shouldn't let those things define you. What's more important is that your relationship is in a good space.
Yep.
And your marriage is in a good space.
Yep.
So I would basically say the goal is just to live a happy and a healthy life.
A happy and a healthy life.
And a blessed life.
And a blessed life.
That's the best goal you can ask for.
Yes.
Because the other things are just add-ons.
Yeah.
But those things are a blessing, and you take each day as they come. So I would say when it comes to goals, it's just living a blessed, happy life. Together. And growing together. That's also a goal. You can call that a goal as well. It's just growing together.
Yeah.
And taking each day as it comes.
Yeah, because growing together is like the best thing ever. I mean, we have grown so much within 1 year of being married. I didn't expect to even love him on the level that I love him within 1 year. But it's an extremely beautiful thing. It's an extremely beautiful, precious thing to have within your life. To know that you have this one person and you actually growing with this person, and this person is your best friend. This person is your mentor. This person is your biggest credit. What noem is it? Critic.
You wanted to say biggest crush.
What is it? Critic. Yeah, the person is your biggest critic. And this person is your one true, only, most important supporter. So yeah, that is the goal. I would say pure, true, raw happiness. You know, happiness that just comes naturally and without being forced.
Yeah.
Without being forced in any way possible. Because I actually thought about this yesterday, and I realized that I have this one person in my life, right, where I can just be me. I can be me, 100% me, and he just loves me for being me. I don't even have to be someone else. I don't even have to try and be like someone else. I don't even have to act a certain way, talk a certain way, feel it. I don't have to put up a front. I can just 100% be me, and he loves me just for that. So I think that is the goal. Within the marriage, forward, just be happy and truthful and loving and caring and kind. So that is the end of our video. It was a short video.
Yes.
It was a short video. It was a truthful video. It was a informative video. My Engels is je vanavond. Money spelen. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you. We love you. It is always fun to make videos for you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet, please subscribe to my channel now. Press the subscribe button. It's absolutely for free. Hit the notification bell in order for you to be notified each time I upload a video. Like my video, comment down below, and I will definitely comment back. I love you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.